Howdy. We are going to be going over the topic 11 advanced test right now. I bet you it's going to take me 15 minutes. Only one way to find out, and that is to get started. Remember, subscribe to my videos, like them, comment on them. I'm just joking. I just want to say that because I really don't even know if you can comment on them. Maybe one day. I hear something. I think it's crickets. It is almost 8 p.m. here on Tuesday night. Yeah, I stayed here this late to get ready for the test. Number one, you're going to find the area of each of the shapes except number one, because number one is just asking you to identify which one of those shapes that is. If you put B, I'm going to throw you out the window. All right, number two, you have a parallelogram. Oh my gosh, I almost gave away the answer for number one. Number two, this is what I get like when it's late. It's crazy, I know. Number two, base times height. That's all you have to do. That's the only hint you're going to get for that. Number three, we give you the height. You have to find the base, and with the area, remember, base times height is going to equal the area of a parallelogram. So in number three, they tell you the area is 238 square centimeters. So let me put that right there. The height is 7, so I'm going to replace that with a 7. And how do I solve this? I need to do the opposite of what I say to both sides. The opposite of times 7 is dividing by 7. That gives me B by itself. That's the long division that you have to do on your own. 238 divided by 7 is going to be one of those numbers, okay? Should be obvious which one is the bad answer, and then you just got to figure out of the other three. Number 4 and 5 are both triangles. Remember, for a triangle, you have three options. Base times height, and then divide by 2, or take half the base times the height, or take the base times half the height, and that will equal the same thing as long as you do it right. For both of those, we've talked about that many times. Don't forget to divide by 2. Either cut in half right before or right after you multiply. Number 6, we talked about that many times as well. If you missed that, I'm going to know who hasn't been paying attention. Number 7, find the area of the shapes below. Now for this one, it's on your practice test that we went over on Tuesday. It's on your study guide. It is top plus bottom. You're going to do that first for these trapezoids, and then you're going to times it by half the height. Okay? So for number 7, top plus bottom is going to give you one number, and then you're going to multiply that times half the height. Half of 4 is 2. Let me say it one more time. I did top plus bottom, 6 plus 10, times half the height, which is half of 4 is 2. You multiply those two, you get your answer. Do the exact same thing for number 8, and you will be fine, okay? Number 9, a little bit tricky because you're going to need to cut this in half. Actually, not half, but you're going to make it 2 rectangles. I would go this way and make it a rectangle at the top and then another one at the bottom, okay? Now, that rectangle at the top, the good news is that's the easy one. You just do 7 times 4, and you're going to get the area of that rectangle. Now, for the one at the bottom, notice how this length right here is 2, and this length right here is 7. So if you wanted to subtract 2 from 7, you're going to be left with a length of 5. And the height of that is 3. So you need to do 5 times 3 for the area of that rectangle, and whatever you get, and whenever you multiply 7 times 4, you're going to take both of those numbers and you're going to add them together for the total area of that shape. Number 10. A little bit similar, kind of difficult as well. So what I would suggest is just making this a triangle and a rectangle. That area of this rectangle, I'm not going to help you with. This should be pretty basic. You should know the height, and you should know the width, the length of that rectangle, okay? You should know which two numbers to multiply to get the area of that. Now, a triangle, on the other hand, is a little bit challenging, okay? Just like the last one was a little bit challenging, because we don't know the height, nor do we know the width. So let me see if I can help you out. So, for this triangle, we know this is 8, we know this whole thing is 16. And if we subtract 8 from 16, what we're going to be left with is the base length of that triangle. And we're going to do the same thing with the height. Take 7, and you're going to subtract 7 from this height of 13. 7 subtracted from 13 is going to leave you with a height of 6. Now, you're going to use these two numbers to find the area of that triangle. And you better go back and remember what you're supposed to do to find the area of a triangle. There's one thing that a lot of people forget when they find the area of a triangle. They always forget to do something, so don't forget to do that. And whatever that area is, you're going to add it to the area of this rectangle right there. And that's going to be A, B, C, or D. Let me double check it real quick. Yeah, I see the area. I see the answer, so you're good to go. Number 11, 12, 13, and 14. No, 11, 12, and 13 we went over together in class. That is going to be in your study guide / practice test we did on Tuesday. Okay? And some of you probably already know these anyway. The only tricky one is kind of number 13. That's kind of a tricky one. Number 14, surface area of the shape below. Remember, there are no shortcuts with triangular prisms. You need to divide that up into the 5 surfaces, the 2 triangles, and the 3 rectangles, and find the area of each. For this triangular front face, it's going to be a base of 6 times a height of 4. I'm going to cut this in half times 6 to get an area of 12 for both of those, front and the back. And then the bottom that you really can't see that it's resting on, that's 6 times 6. The right side roof is 5 by 6. And the left side roof, you're going to have to do that on your own. Here's your hand. If you're listening, it's the same thing as the one I just wrote down. And then you're going to take these numbers and these numbers, add them together, and it's going to be A, B, C, or D. Number 15, surface area. Remember, 3 surfaces. Let me see how easy I can make this for you. The right side is going to be 5 times 3. Okay? Then you have the front. Let's call this the front. That's 2 by 5. And then you have the top. Those are 3 out of 6 surfaces. The top is going to be 2 by 3. Okay, so what I suggest you do is you add all 3 of these numbers together. And then whatever that is, just multiply it times 2 and you get the answer. Okay? Multiply, that's a 2. Multiply it times 2 and that's going to give you the answer. Hope that helps. And then with this one, for number 16, I would suggest drawing a net. It's a triangular based pyramid. Starting with the base, 4 by 3.5, I would cut this in half. And you're going to do 3.5 times 2. And that's going to give you the area of that triangle right here, okay? And then all you have to do is find the area of this triangle, and whatever that area is, it's going to go here, here, and here, and then add up those 4 numbers together. I'm not going to help you find the area of that triangle. There's too many hints that I've already given up to this point. So if you're not sure what to do, go back and look at the help that I gave. I think for number 3 and 4 on this, when I was doing the area of a triangle on the first page of the test. Excuse me. Number 17. We did talk about this very briefly, so if you're stuck with this, I'm not going to be too surprised, but I did make it kind of easy because this is your hint. M times M times M. Is that going to give you M to the first, or the second, or the third, or the 7th power? It should be obvious. If you're in advanced class taking this test, all of you should know that. Okay? That's why I kept the answers the same. So I'm actually avoiding. I didn't want you to have to multiply 4 times 4 times 1.7. I'm already telling you it's 27.2. You just need to figure out what the correct suffix is, the ending of that answer. And then number 18, all you got to do is multiply. I would do 2 times 3 first, and then multiply that answer times 8. And that will be something, and that is your answer. And then, last but not least, number 19, you've got 4 points to make. That is not bonus. The bonus is this and this. This is not bonus. So I'm only going to do one of these for you. I will do this coordinate. You need to do these 3 on your own. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? Remember, when you're doing these, the first number is the x, and it tells you how much to go left or right. Since the number is positive, I'm going to go, look at where this point is. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the right. And the second number, the 7, that's the y-axis. See that y right here? That's the top or the bottom. And so starting from where I left off, I'm going to go 7 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that point is exactly right there. I'm going to double check it. 8 across, 7 up. That is that coordinate. That's how you do the other 3. I got somebody coming in and doing the late night sweeping / cleaning of the floor that you might be able to hear, which means it's too late for me. It's time for me to go home and eat breakfast. That's right, I just said breakfast. I sound like I'm a YouTuber. It's so weird. Anyway, hope you are doing good on the test. I hope your corrections in this video was helpful so that you can make a good grade. And I will talk to you later. Bye. It's under 15 minutes.